we like to say that the Global Hub is a one-stop shop virtual education and engagement center for organizations, teams, D&I practitioners, ERG leaders, and other professionals who are working for LGBTQ workplace inclusion. And we created the hub to serve as a way to radically and digitally transform how DEI best practices are shared across companies, to just facilitate that real-time problem solving and to be able to map out and connect ERG leaders across the globe. And as some of you may know, we launched our first beta version of the Global Hub in 2020 after extensive collaboration with JP Morgan and the Force for Good team. And then our second current version has been thanks to continued support from Dell and from our partners at Logical Alternative. So for those who may not be super familiar with the site, there are 4 primary features that make up the site itself. So we have a resource library, a community message board, an ERG registry, and an events calendar. And we've designed this site specifically for you all, for our partners, knowing the needs that you all have in your everyday efforts to build inclusive workplace cultures. And so, for instance, in the resource library, you can access documents, photos, and videos in a variety of topics, including self-ID, trans and non-binary inclusion, and many others. And we're also very excited to have the 2020 and 2021 summit sessions in the hub. One of a few of the positives of having the events virtually is that it made it very easy to record all of the sessions. So we're very pleased to be able to offer all of those to all users on the hub. In the community message board, it's a place where you can go to have real-time conversations with hundreds of other folks who are doing similar work, both in the United States and across the world. The ERG registry is there to help you connect with other ERGs in your industry, in your region, just to be able to work with each other and have that point of connection if you're interested in discussing a local policy issue that's come up perhaps in your region, or if you're just want to get more ERG involvement and connections across different organizations and companies. And then finally, the events calendar is a great way to promote and attend relevant events. The point is that there are so many different ways that the Global Hub can elevate the incredible work that you're already doing by just bringing us together in a virtual platform to share our best resources, our voices and minds, our programming, and to further deepen our connections across the world. And in a little bit, I'll be walking through a short demo of the site so we can really go into these features a little bit more. So next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 different the user roles that are in the hub. So as you can see here, there are 3 different tiers of users. We have our general user, our participant, who are able to access and download resources, post comments on the resources, participate in the community message board, calendar, and ERG registry features, and search, and all of that sort of thing. Each company is able to onboard 20 of those users. For the contributor role, they can do everything that the participant can do, but with the added ability to upload and edit resources in the resource library. So if perhaps you have select employees that you want to delegate that to, you're able to do that. So it's someone to ensure that it's someone that you trust to be able to upload those sorts of resources and manage that sort of part of the site. And then finally, we have our company administrator, which obviously is able to access and download and all of the resources and all of that stuff. They're also able to upload and edit those resources. And then they have the added responsibility of managing the users from each company. So being able to add, delete, change people's roles. And also they are able to manage the company profile, which we will go over all of that shortly during the demo. So we are really excited because in the old hub, we had a rough cap around 14 users, and we're now able to accommodate 24 users per company. So be sure that you're using all of those slots. It's a great way to bring in all sorts of people. And I will now talk about the types of users that you should look to when you're deciding who from your company should be brought into the hub. So we like to say that the hub is built for leaders. And it's important to select users who are championing this issue within your company, who represent values of inclusion and belonging, who are leading others in the charge for better workplace cultures. And we also say that they should be members of what we like to call a prime user group, which is senior leaders of DE&I teams, different select HR and other internal leaders, as well as ERG leaders and other members of the ERGs. We also like to highlight that it's also important that these folks are reflecting values of diversity, inclusion, and intersectionality in your user base. And this is just a very short list of some of the exciting updates that we've had in this new global hub. So in our new global hub, and we'll walk through this shortly, both user and each company now have robust profiles. So people are really able to connect with each other a lot more closely than they were previously able to. In the old global hub, you're allowed to add other users as friends. You're able to message them directly within the platform. Like I mentioned, you're also able to watch all of the sessions from the 2021 Workplace Summit. And we also are really excited to offer improved filtering and searching capabilities in both the resource library and the ERG registry. Previously, you couldn't really search for specific documents or specific sessions or maybe a specific company that you were looking for in the ERG registry. We're excited to offer that now. We have full GDPR compliance, meaning that users from the EU and the UK are able to be onboarded into the hub. And then finally, we have a really great accessibility plugin that allows users to customize their accessibility experience on the site so that it best fits their needs. All right, so I'm going to do a quick demo now, and these are the sort of primary things we're going to focus on: how you can update your user profile, how the company administrator, some of the different company administrator responsibilities, about accessing and uploading resources, a quick view of the community message board, the ERG registry, and the events page. This is the homepage of the Global Hub, and obviously about half of you have stated that you've already been on the site and have logged in, so that's great, and you've then seen this. So it shows you the 4 features here, and then a similar toolbar at the top. If you're a company administrator, you'll have this extra admin section where you're able to onboard your team members as well. And we'll go through that shortly. And then another tip for those who are maybe new in the hub, there is a sort of welcome tips page that provides kind of like a top line overview of the training that I'm giving today. So if you maybe wanted some additional tips but didn't want to listen through the full training, it's a great place to go to just check out some top line tips on getting started in the hub. So I'm going to move on to the profile. That'll be the first thing that we'll go over. So if you go to my profile, you will open it and something similar to this will open. You're able to edit your profile or add an icon, a profile picture. I have the ampersand here because this is an account used by multiple people, but many folks have added like their headshot similar to how they would one similar probably to the one that they have on LinkedIn, and you're able to update your name, your company name, your job title, and you're able to add your pronouns, short about me, and that sort of thing. Here's where you can check to see if you have someone responded to a thread that you had posted on in the community message board. If someone wrote you a private message, you can see the friends that you have added or who have added you. And then you're also able to see the companies that you are a part of. So when you were added, your company administrator selected you to be in a certain company. So once you join, you will be sort of joined into this company. So like I said, each user has their own profile, and then each company also has their own profile. And the person or people that are tasked with managing the company profile is in fact the company administrator. So similar to the user profile, the company profile also has a profile image and a cover photo. You're able to manage and see what some of your employees have been doing in the hub, or some of your colleagues have been doing in the hub. You're able to manage both the users and the profile aspects of the hub. And you're also able to see the members and the folks that are in here. So if you are the company administrator, in order to get to this company page, you would go through your profile. But if you're just trying to onboard team members, you can very easily go to onboard team members, and it will bring you to a specific page for that as well. So like I said, you're able to manage the company profile here. You're able to manage the members that are part of your company. So for instance, the two members of this page are our kind of greater global hub training account, as well as my my own individual hub account. So if I wanted to change my user from an administrator to just a member or participant, I could do that. If, for instance, Karina no longer worked at the organization, you could very easily remove her, and she would no longer be able to access the hub. And it's great because it's important for us that we give you the ability to manage all of this on your own. And then, like I said, if you're an admin and you are trying to onboard team members, you can go there. And this is just another view. If you're back on the main page to see the members of your team, and if you'll see, I sent myself a friend request, but I haven't responded yet, but I will soon. And then if I wanted to send invites and invite other people to the hub, send invites, you can invite multiple people at a time, which is really great. You're also able to customize the subject and the text of the invitation. So if, for instance, you were giving access to an ERG member that was nominated by the head of the leader of your ERG, you could say, you have been nominated by so-and-so to access the global hub because of the great work that you've been doing within the ERG, or something along the lines. But you're able to do that, and then always be sure to select that they'll be added to your company as well. And then another great update that we have with the site is that you can now see the different invites that you've sent. So I haven't sent any, but if I had, they would show up here, and it would let me know, one, whether the invite had been sent, and two, whether or not it had been accepted yet. So it's a lot easier for users to check here and see if a certain user accepted the invitation or not, as opposed to before, when many a times users weren't able to check to see if someone had received the invitation. So now it's great that sort of the power is in your hands and you're able to see this sort of thing. All right. Now I'm going to move on to the resource library. And again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to leave them in either the chat or the Q&A. And I will be sure to answer them at the end. All right, so this is the resource library. And as I mentioned, we now have more refined searching processes here, which is very exciting. So for instance, if you attended Summit this year and you remember that there was a session done by Oreo that you wanted to attend, but you didn't have the chance to, and maybe you weren't able to attend it after the fact or watch the recording after the fact. But it seemed really interesting, and it seemed like it was right up your alley of something that you were trying to work on in your company. Before, you would have to just go to the Workplace 2021 section and scroll through them individually, but now you can very easily type Oreo and it will pop up here after a second. And I apologize with Zoom running. My computer's a bit slow, but see, it pops up and you're able to view and download it at this link. This is a video, so it would just pop up in a new link, but it gives you a summary here when it was added to the hub. And yeah, another example, maybe your company was interested in providing pronoun pins to its employees. You could come on the hub, type in pronoun pin, and you would see an example from a company who have uploaded the pronoun pins that they've given to their employees in the hub. There you go. And then, so if you are like I said, so there's documents, there's case studies, there's all sorts of papers and example toolkits of even like transition guideline toolkits. There's also a lot of the videos, obviously, like I said, from Summit. And then as I stated here, also we have photographs. So there's really a lot of different types of tools in here. So yeah. And then if you have the ability and you are interested in uploading a resource, you would just click upload resource and it would load here, and you would just fill out this basic form with all the information on this resource, so the title, description, whether it's a file or a video or a link. So if, for instance, if you had something hosted on your public facing website, you could just post the link as well. Select the language, as well as what type of tool it is, your industry, some of these different top level topics, and then any of these tags just to make it easier for people to find different resources, and then press share resources and it will get submitted and added to the resource library. Next, I will walk through the community message board, which is a very straightforward forum. If you were on the last Global Hub, it's run exactly the same, very sort of straightforward, where we have people asking different questions and responding with their advice. We also have myself and other Out and Equal employees who have experience and knowledge in a lot of these issues, who are checking in the resource library, and I'm working with them to post responses and providing resources for hub users in here. And these are just some examples in the sort of D&I and HR forum of the community message board. So we have a few people asking about a self-ID country list, pronoun usage in the workplace, self-ID, bathroom policies. There's a lot of different topics in here. And so if you have experience, if you have questions, this is a great place to not only gain more knowledge, but also share the knowledge that you have and the experiences that you have, because chances are there's someone in a company anywhere in the world who is trying and working on the same issue. All right. And so next we have the ERG registry, and there are almost 300 ERGs in here from all around the world. It is also great that we have improved search function, so you can search by industry and you can also search by name of company. So if you were interested in, if you're in the insurance field and you want to connect with other ERGs that are also in the insurance field, you could select insurance from the list or type it in, and you would get a list of different ERG chapters around the world. We encourage, if you are adding an ERG, to add not only, like if you have multiple chapters in an ERG, to add each chapter individually. That way, if someone has a more localized question, that they can reach out to someone who's actually working in that area. But if you just have a general LGBTQ ERG, that's totally fine as well. But just if you do have it in more of a chapter by chapter format, that we encourage you to upload as many as you can. And then if you wanted to submit a new ERG, you would just click submit. You're also able to bookmark and print any ERG listings. And once you submit your ERG, it will get sent to us, and we can accept it on our end, and it will get posted to the list. And if you have any questions, or if you have trouble editing your ERG, always please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And then finally, we have our events. So the events calendar is a very straightforward calendar. Obviously, we have our event that we are in right now listed here. We have our executive forum that's coming up at the end of March. Soon we will have some exciting events coming soon for some Q1 virtual events for folks to attend. So those will be in the hub soon once those are announced to the greater Out and Equal community, essentially. And then we also encourage you all to add events. So an example, in the past, we've had companies and organizations add like virtual information meetings and recruiting meetings and those sorts of things. So those are just examples of events that you can add. But if you have any sort of event, a public event that you or your company is hosting that you think people in this community would be interested in, we encourage you to post it in here, and you're able to add any sort of virtual information, in-person information, whatever, however you're setting up your event. You would just go to add an event, and it would take you to a very similar form to the other ones I've shown you today, and you will be able to add it, and it will get added to the calendar. And I think that is it for now, unless we have any questions on the demo. Actually, let me do one more slide, and then we can go to the question and answer. So really quickly, just some next steps and sort of getting started in the Global Hub. So the first thing is onboarding. So as I mentioned, you can have 2 company administrators, 2 contributors, and 20 participants. So get to onboarding those folks as soon as you can. Next would be starting to plan your different engagements in the hub. So uploading resources into the resource library, sharing events in the calendar, starting and replying to threads in the community message board, and registering your different ERG chapters. And then for the next steps after that would be to connect with your team to decide which resources you can upload. Maybe you don't have a resource yet, but you that's maybe ready for external or more public distribution, but you have some like a toolkit that maybe you think could be helpful for other employers and other companies to see. So maybe there's a little bit of tweaking that you have to do to make it ready to upload it onto the hub. And then also customizing your company and user profile. So maybe adding your logo as the icon for your company and adding a cover photo, and then adding your headshot, or if you'd like just your company logo to your user profile. That way it's customized and it looks nice.